Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about how I see the future of fashion developing, especially after coronavirus, but I think there is some trends that are actually applicable to a bigger scale of things that were already happening. One big trend is the go green trend, 100%. You can see all these big brands going towards recycling materials and recollecting some of them actually in their stores like H&M, used garments. So the trend is keep on consuming, but let's try to recollect those items you don't use anymore and give them a second life while creating fabrics that are recycled materials. And when we talk about giving items a second life, there's two ways to looking at it. You either give it away to the charity and then, they manage and it will end up whatever the process is. You can also send it to a recycling bin so that it end up converted into a different fabric that you may be using it in the future in a different shape and form, or you can actually try to sell it. And that's a second big trend that I think is going to become more and more of a thing, especially people being in-house and having this a little bit of a Marie Kondo influence where we're finding so many items that we're not using anymore, we don't have the occasion, or we feel we don't fit in it or whatever, and we want to sell it and make money out of it. So you will have places like Marketplace on Facebook or Next Door. You'll be able to sell your items. Like this dress, for example, I got from a secondhand shop, and I think it's a really nice one that I really enjoy, and it's actually from Topshop originally, but I bought it secondhand. Another trend that we will see for SMB organization is to get direct input from clients, and that's going to be very important when we're producing locally in a smaller scale. And we're going to be having, or I believe we're going to be seeing a trend of more capsule collections of lower volume but higher quality and probably more client input. And how we create that communication with the client could be around social media, email, all sorts of platforms. But I believe that that's going to be a massive trend for SMB fashion brands. We're also talking about the idea of shopping versus experiences, and this connects really nicely with the idea of lifestyle. And that goes back to a very important trend that you can see in millennials and Generation Z. When they look for a job, they're looking for someone to employ them that have the same values. And this is also something that you can translate to how we consume brands. We want to have a brand or consume a brand or be related to the name of a company that has similar values to the values that we have. So this is going to be really important in the fashion industry, where you will see this massive trend of people really looking into how are you creating your items, what is happening in the production chain, and what is your values behind your brand. That's going to be really important, and that connects with the idea of lifestyle. When I'm wearing a specific item, I'm making a statement and I'm representing my ideals as an individual. And so when brands, especially SMB, are creating the new collections, maybe capsule collections, to adapt to this new change of way of consuming, this is something they really need to keep in mind. And then obviously, as a consequence, the idea of lifestyle brings a massive opportunity for SMB organizations to expand their product line. You are not maybe only selling t-shirts or selling underwear or selling, bikinis. You now can sell creams and makeup and all sorts of different items, because you are targeting the idea of lifestyle and aligning them to the values of your clients. Now, a very important aspect of going from only fashion towards lifestyle and values is to educate our clients. As a client, as a consumer, I don't have to understand specifically what organic cotton means and how your production chain works. So it comes from a brand point of view that it's a great opportunity to educate our clients. And by educating them and giving us, the consumers, an insight of what it means to be environmental friendly, of cruelty free, and all these other concepts, we will be able to differentiate our brand from other brands that are not teaching clients and so are not giving the information of what the exact process is behind their production chain. Technology is always a big one on all my videos, because I think technology is our ally. It's a great opportunity for technology to be part of the fashion industry in a very heavy way and to really help us optimize our resources as much as possible. When we talk about technology, we could be thinking of something as basic as e-commerce. What kind of products are we offering? How can we optimize the whole process in order for it to be very cost effective and have a low impact on the environment? So again, technology, embrace it. There's a lot of amazing advantages that you can have nowadays in order to optimize your production chain. As I said, technology is everything, and packaging should also be everything that we think about. The impact of packaging in our world nowadays and in the environment, it's absolutely heartbreaking. There's so many tons of plastic that we create every year that we've used an average of less than a minute, and that's something that we should really think about. So when you're creating your fashion brand, when you're thinking of your production chain, really consider packaging as part of an extra layer, and you want to give it value. And there is some companies that what they're starting to do is create labels that you can actually plant, and it's converted to a tree or to some kind of like recycle way of doing like compost. So really invest in that. Think about that, and think of your user experience when you order something online and when you get it, and what is left from the item that you bought, and all the extra packaging that you actually don't need, and think of how you can give that piece of paper or whatever your brand is a second life. I think there will be other trends that are not so much in the consuming arena, but more in the how can I optimize what I already have. We will be renting garments more often than we used to, maybe historically, or even accessories like maybe earrings, a bag, or anything fancy that we don't want to spend £2,000 in a Louis Vuitton bag, but maybe we can rent it and it still like fits with our outfit, and you still kind of like have it for the experience. And then it's the idea of those items that we don't use anymore because they might be a little bit out of fashion. How can we really change them, modify them? And that will give a lot of people that are in the S&B market the opportunity to change a little bit the look of our brand, our dress, but just try to make it a little bit more modern and more relevant for the current fashion. That is also going to be a very big trend. Of course, with coronavirus, everyone's at home. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people embracing the do-it-yourself fashion, and they're going to be discovering that they're actually quite good at, creating their own garments themselves, and they will be taking the challenge of changing the dresses themselves and maybe doing some patchwork or doing some painting on top of it or some modification. So it's a great opportunity for people to be involved in their own fashion creations. And here we are, very angry dog, and angry Alicia. And I'm sorry to say that, but actually this is all on you. You are consuming, you have the power, you can change the trends. So really take that power, own it, and make decisions. Start looking into S&B organizations and really support those local companies that we have around our area that are really struggling because of coronavirus, and maybe stop shopping on Amazon or stop shopping on all these big organizations that we know are big corporates that can adapt and can bounce back much easier. So really think about who you're consuming, why you're consuming, and how you can change your way of consuming from big organizations to smaller ones. So my advice to all of you is get to your closet, open it up. Those things that you don't like anymore, put them in a bag, try to sell them on Marketplace, those other websites that you have, and try to make some money. If not, give it to charity and enable those clothes to, have a second life. Now, those items you really like, and you like the fabric, you kind of like the cut, but it could be a little bit more modern and more relevant, put it in a different bag and find someone in your neighborhood that has the capability and the skill to change it. Give them the money, sit down, negotiate, and revamp your closet in a really strategic way, changing the shape of all those items that you love, but there is a little tweak here and there that you can do to even love them more. So in a nutshell, fashion trends. Here we go. Go green, give your items a second life, embrace client input, educate your clients. Fashion will be a lifestyle. AI and technology are definitely our friends. Packaging counts, is this extra layer that people want to ensure it's not a waste. I believe we will be consuming less in volume but not less in value, so be aware of that, and that's a great opportunity for S&B. Yes, maybe you want to rent a dress and maybe you want to do your own dress, so everything's compatible. There is space for everything in the market, And well, I hope you enjoy my vision of what's the future landscape of fashion. I would love to get some input from you, whatever you think is maybe not very accurate, it could be different or missing. And that's it from me today. Thank you.